get started here. Here we go. My name's Louis Padilla with the Warriors. I have E-Train with the Warriors, freshman high school player. I have Coach Rudy here joining us in this conversation today. What I wanted to do is ask Ethan some questions here, and wanted to see your intake. We wanted to interview. I see you're a strong leader on the team. I've known E-Train for over 10 years, and you come from a great family. So, question I have for you, and I'm interested to learn about you even more, is tell me who you are and what you stand for.
You know, I feel like I wanted to be a leader because at an early age when I started playing for your team, I felt like you made such a big impact on all the teams, so I wanted to be a leader. And I looked at my parents, and I wanted to be that guy. I wanted everybody to kind of just look up to me, and it's great that I have a little brother, so I'm able to hopefully lead him and inspire him. And who I stand for, I think I stand for as a guy who can get better. I'm always looking to improve, and a guy that's just willing to take control of the situation.
What does it mean to E-Train, Ethan? What does it mean to you being a Warrior?
It means everything. Warrior is a definition of a lot of things. Warrior is a guy who never quits, never gives up, a guy who's always looking to get better. And when it's not the name on the front of the jersey, it's not the name on the back of the jersey. It's the name on the front. Warriors. It stands for everything. It stands for teamwork, leadership, dedication, determination. It stands for all those things.
I'm going to ask you another question, and then I'll have Coach Rudy ask you a question. Family. When I think of family, I think you come to my mind very quickly. And every time we're at a game, I always see the amount of family members that go to your game. And for me, man, to me that family is important. And seeing the support that you have at the games is just unbelievable. I mean, man, it's unbelievable. The amount of family that you have going to a game can outnumber opponents' family going there. Players 1 through 12, you're just your family alone. And I always see a lot of your family support and presence. How does that make you feel, knowing you have your family there?
Makes me feel very blessed. I have a loving family, a family that's never left my side since I was born. And this family's always supported me, and I'm just grateful and blessed that I have all family members. I mean, it's not an easy drive heading over. They wake up, they're constantly waking early in the morning just to go to my tournament. There's sometimes something comes up, but they still want to go, and I'm just extremely blessed, extremely grateful that I have so many family members come to my game, and so many of them cheer me on, they're supporting, and I know that means they really care, and they're showing love, and that's all I could ask for in a family.
Awesome, man. Great. I know I see it, man, and I'm very thankful too as a coach and see that, man. When you have that much family members, it's just unbelievable. That just shows true love. No matter, I've seen them we might have a game at 8 in the morning, our last game's at 5 or 6 p.m., and they are there through every game. And I'm pretty sure they got a busy schedule just like everybody else does, man, but they make it very important to them. I can see seeing you play, man, so you got a great family. When you see them, make sure you thank them, man, and I know you do. And give them a big hug and tell them us coaches appreciate that. I'll have Coach Rudy ask the next question.
Well, you've always been the one when we think of Warrior. You're probably one of the first ones that we always think of, because you're always there. You're always dedicated. Just like you said, you're motivated and determined to get better. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions just so you can reflect on yourself and ask yourself a few questions. So, and what you want to do, what would you say your strengths are?
My strengths are communication. I love to be vocal. I'm a very vocal guy at school, in the court, at home. I love to talk, and anytime we're on defense, on the basketball court, I'll be communicating. At the dinner table, I'll still be talking, having conversations. Also, I feel like one of my other strengths is, I guess, just I feel like I can get better, but leadership. I feel like I definitely can get better, but I'm on a good way to get better.
Right. I agree with everything that you said. And you were already starting to beat me to the punch, but I'm going to go the opposite. So what do you think is your weakness? That's something that you need to work on, just so you can reflect.
I feel like I feel like sometimes I procrastinate. I'll see the phone, I'll see the TV, social media, and just electronics has taken over this world, and I've kind of got caught up to it a little bit. And I do need to fix that. I do need to put down the phone. I need to put down just the controller, just to go out, maybe get some work in, maybe put some more studying time in, just to focus on getting better as a person, getting better as a student, and getting better as an athlete, than getting better at a phone.
Right. Good. That's a good answer. And again, I do see, we shared that earlier, that's a big distraction. And we do this the same for us. So that's, as long as you're aware of that and so the next time you go grab your phone or you start watching TV, you're going to think about this and you're like, man, you know what? There is something else that I could probably do to help me get better. So the last question I wanted to ask you, so you can reflect again, is, and something that you really need to think about is, why? Why do you do what you do, and why do you want to become the person that you want to become?
Because I want to prove something to me. I can't feel like I believe in God, and I believe God put us on this earth, for us to succeed, for us to have joy, and for me to do that, to bring me joy, I want to complete my goal. My goal is just to be the very best basketball player I could be, the very best brother I could be, the very best family man I could be, and I want to keep striving just for greatness.
Well, again, just like Coach said, I'm thankful to have you on the team, and thank you for everything that you do. And and it might sound funny, but in a lot of ways we look up to you as well. And with the way you carry yourself and the things that you do. So appreciate everything you do. All right,
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
I got a couple more for you. This is E-Train. I know you graduating in 2020. I know this is your freshman year this year. But I remember last year in 8th grade, you were in track and field. And I remember having a convo with you, man. You were getting very close, and with your family getting very close to breaking the middle school record for the school in the high jump. And I remember getting a call and getting a picture text, and man, saying that I believe that E-Train broke his hip. And I was shocked. I was like, whoa, man, this guy's about to break a record in 8th grade for the school. Have the highest high jump ever. This is a warrior. He just doesn't quit. How can this happen to him? And if you could talk a little bit about what happened that day when that incident happened, and how you bounced back from that injury.
It was just a regular track practice. I think it was a day or two after the track meet, and I also had long jump on my mind. Also with high jump, but I went to go just do the long jump, and I wasn't doing it right, and when I landed completely bad on my left leg, it kind of brought it up to my hip, and that whole experience was it was definitely a downtime for me. Doctor told me that your track career for 8th grade is done, and that hurt me deep, because I really wanted to get that record. That was what I wanted to happen. I wanted my name to be on that wall, prove something to me, and doctor said I had to have surgery, be gone 8 to 10 weeks, and that actually was a timetable I wasn't too mad about. I knew 8 to 10 weeks was good enough time where I can come back in and bounce back. So the whole recovery process was tough. I just had to keep looking up. I had to keep looking up. My parents, my little brother, my family, they were all by my side. And it's gonna be okay. You're gonna recover stronger and better from this. Without them, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be in this position. So just bouncing back strong. That's all I could think about. So coming back this year, I feel like I bounced back.
That's awesome, man, because I've seen that. I recall to some sense that you had a fractured hip, and I remember they didn't say anything, right? And I remember you had to go see a specialist. When you saw the specialist is the one that said, hey, we need to do surgery here pretty ASAP, possibly internal bleeding going on, or you had broke the skin, I believe, right? And I remember, man, that morning of surgery, you were having surgery morning, and I spoke with you, man. And I was a little nervous, man. I got a player fractured his hip. I'm gonna speak to him. He's having surgery. But man, during that conversation, you were in high spirits, man. you know. And again, I envision your family all around you. I envision having the conversation that I did have with you. You were just confident that, hey, I'm gonna be good, Coach. Thank you for calling me. I love you too, Coach. I'll talk to you later after the surgery. And for me to have a young man your age at 14 to be able to operate that way mentally when you're about to go into surgery, man, that just shows how strong you are. And I'm thankful that I've been able to have the opportunity to coach you 10 plus years. You know, I have a couple other questions for you. What's your jersey number?
There's number 34.
34. Why do you wear number 34?
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
It was, he was my idol growing up. It was the reason I became a Celtics fan. I just remember watching him on TV. Just, even though the Celtics weren't that good back then, they had a couple of national TV games, and I just remember watching him. He was clutch. He could shine under the bright lights, and he was a leader, a true leader for that Celtic franchise. He had the city on Boston on his back, and I always looked up to him. And just recently he came to Boston as a Clipper, hit one last shot, made me very emotional.
Yeah.
So, and then I believe the week after, you guys told me to pick the jersey number 34, Paul Pierce. I want to kind of be who he is. He is my role model.
He is.
One of my role models.
I see that. I see you're a big fan of Boston Celtics, man. I know I've spoken to you, and you go back into the Larry Bird, Robert Parrish days, and you speak about games and championship games that they had. So I know you're doing your work in their history and stuff like that. That's pretty huge for a young man your age to be able to look into that and be able to understand what Boston has. Do you remember what year they lost to the Lakers in the finals?
2010.
2010.
I was about, I believe, 9 years old, watching at my mom's house. Not a good experience at all, but it was still fun. It was still fun right getting there. It was a great series. We lost to a great team, but I knew they were also going to bounce back. And right now they went to the playoffs. So I know it took a while to get back in that feeling, but I haven't been this excited since that 2010.
Yeah, and the funny part is I'm a big Laker fan. That's why I asked you that question.
You had to throw it in there.
You had to throw that one in
I
there.
think you're ready to play the Lakers this year.
I know they're playing for the lottery.
They are. There you go. I got one more last question for you, E-Train. What can we do as a community here in San Antonio to help prevent child abuse? Child abuse, we talked about it earlier, man. It's at a high rate right now. And, what can we do as a community, not just as a community, but what can we do as a team to be able to help prevent child abuse?
You got to get back. You got to get back to families. You got to create something new with these families. These children, have done nothing wrong. They came from a rough childhood. They just got unlucky with what was given to them, and we have to help them out. We have to pick them up. That's what we do. We have to pick up, all of us are brothers and sisters. We got to pick up our brothers and sisters. So we just got to make sure they're healthy, they're safe. That we got to, and for the people that are doing this, I'm pretty sure they came from a childhood similar to what they're doing. So it just all comes, you just got to get back. You got to show these people happiness and love, to make this world a better place.
Great answers, man. Great answers, man. I can tell you, I want to end it with this, man. I have a lot of respect for you, E-Train. I have a lot of respect for you. This is the first time I've done an interview with any player on the team. And, you were the first one that came to my mind. And as I wrote questions down while I was at work today, I said, man, I'm going to rewrite them again and ask them. Because I didn't let you see these questions. This is the first time that you heard me ask you these questions. And, man, your response just shows your maturity beyond your age. And one thing that I can tell you is that I respect you. And not just myself, coach, the players, the other coaches. We have a high respect for you, man. It's just unbelievable for your age. I've seen you grow since you were 5 years old, into a young kid playing flag football who I met. We first did a basketball season, so I've seen you grow up from the first sport you played, flag football. I saw you play the first basketball game as a team. I saw you play your first tackle football game, and I've seen you play your first select AAU basketball game. And I've seen you grow through this time, man, and I feel, we got a great relationship, man. And one thing about that great relationship I'm thankful for. And Coach Rudy hit it, man. There's so much that you teach us too, you know. And I'm so tough on you because I love you and I want you to ensure that you learn each and every day. And for me, I can tell you, man, that I'm very lucky and blessed to be able to run into your path and be able to coach a coachable kid that's very respectful. There has not been one time, if you think about it, I've been coaching you for over 10 years. There hasn't been one time that you've disrespected me, ever. Even if you've had a bad game, even if you've been upset, and you're talking about probably over 20, 25 football games, maybe 35 football games, including flag, over probably 500 basketball games by now. And if you do the math, man, we're over 1,000 practices. And out of all those opportunities that we were together, you have never disrespected me. And for that, I thank you, man. That just kind of goes to show what kind of family has raised you. Great family. So I want to thank you for giving myself and Coach Rudy the opportunity, man.
Thank you.
I want to let you know we love you, man.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.